Hey yo everyone! Let's talk about one of the one-shot wonders, the Imperial Javelineers. The Imperial Javelineers are a heroic era 4.5-star Javelin unit that costs 240 leadership. Their defining feature is the Flying Shield ability. They are easy to spot on the battlefield with their spiked shields in the shield formation. It is an image that leaves any wise warlord concerned for their safety. So let's get into the unit and why it can strike fear into any warlord. Imperial Javelineers have 4 different traits. The first one is Javelineers. It describes how they not only use javelins, but can also fight in melee. Fire Resistant covers how their armor is less vulnerable to thermal weapon attacks. Heavy Javelins describes how their javelins have a better stopping power, but less ammo. Shield Bearers we have seen before, they take reduced range damage while using their shield. Formations that are available are the Shield Formation. This is great for defending themselves from a frontal enemy. This is used heavily on walls, in gateways, or pathways. The Column Formation is the most spread out formation they have, though there is little use for this formation. The Chiltron is a formation available through Veterancy unlock. This is good for defending against potential enemy assaults from multiple sides. The available unit orders are Throw Javelin. This is pretty straightforward. The soldiers will throw a javelin at a nearby enemy. The second unit order is Directed Throw. The units will throw a javelin at a specified location. The third unit order is Marksman. For this, you select an enemy and the soldiers will throw a javelin at the selected enemy. This is great for sniping an enemy warlord. A full unit can one-shot most warlords with a good marksman throw. There are 2 Veterancy lines available for Imperial Javelineers. Stats are as seen now before you level them up. Your first level before you go into either line will get a 4% increase to critical hit chance. If you go into the top line, you will net a 6% increase to piercing damage, 8% increase to melee damage, 15% increase to piercing armor penetration, 12% increase to melee rate of attack, 8% increase to critical value, unlocks the Flying Shield. Whilst attacking, the unit may throw their shields at the enemy. 15% increase to Flying Shield damage. Flying Shield causes bleed damage, and you get to pick between either attacking enemies can daze them, or increase use of Flying Shield. The top line adds a focus on damage, melee attacks, and the Flying Shield ability. There is also the potential of the daze a chance on attack. This results in some great damage output for your Imperial Javelineers. If instead you go bottom line, you'll net a 6% increase to piercing damage, 8% increase to melee damage, 15% increase to piercing armor penetration, unlock the Chiltron Formation, 9% increase to health, 12% increase to javelin armor piercing, 12% increase to javelin damage, 60% increase to throwing javelins block break, 10% increase to ammo, 2-second reduction to ranged cooldown. This also has a great focus on damage, but instead it is focused on just javelins. This would be a great build for players that want to focus on javelin kills, but there is the downside that you can only get a couple of throws in before you run out of javelins. For that reason, I recommend going the top line with the daze as a final. This allows your javelins to stay engaged longer with a respectable melee damage. They also will have a chance to bleed with the Flying Shield and daze with attacks. This means that once you run out of javelins, you can stay in the fray until you find a better moment to get back to a supply point. The doctrines that I run on my Imperial Javelineers are the Assassination Doctrine, Epic Javelin Doctrine 2, Life Doctrine, Piercing Damage Doctrine, and the Epic Javelin Doctrine 1. Another doctrine to consider is the Breakthrough Doctrine. This would be helpful in improving damage to units when you are not javelin sniping warlords. For more doctrine information, check out Conqueror. Some notes for Imperial Javelineers. Javelin units have very little ammo for javelins. Imperial Javelineers usually get 2 full throws before they run out. This means it is best to be cautious about using them. The closer your target and the less it moves, the better your accuracy will be. Don't get me wrong though, make sure you use the javelins. Don't wait for the perfect moment as it may not come. Just make sure you don't waste them on long throws at moving targets. Another note is that, as mentioned, moving targets are hard to hit, so if you play a weapon with a good CC or stun, it is a great idea to CC or stagger your target right as you tell the javelins to throw. This can improve their accuracy and get you that one shot. Though Imperial Javelineers are a decent melee unit, especially with the top line, I would avoid direct confrontation when possible. Do not treat them as a shock troop unless you are up against very much lower tier units. Use them to harass enemy units and take out warlords, leaving their units to defend for themselves without unit orders. If you do, you will have a blast using them. I hope this video gave you a look into the Imperial Javelineers. If it did, please consider hitting that like button or subscribing. It helps me out a lot. If you want to hang out and chat, there is a link to the Discord channel below, as well as my Twitch channel, where you can catch me live. With all of that, until next time, I'll see you on the battlefield. Ha ha! Yes! Yes! Oh!